What's up, boys and girls? JD here for another episode of JD Plays Project Ozone 2 Minecraft. And I am ready to finally start getting some more stuff done. I got a couple of things that I want to get made today. I've been making some more capacitors. I've actually put a double layer back in here so this thing can run much quicker now. And that's actually staying in there permanently now. I'm cooking up a bunch of energetic alloy right as we speak. I've got a few more double layer capacitors set up and ready to go, and I'm just kind of weighing out exactly, how I want to go forward right now. So I'm going to hang these up for a moment. I made a bunch of standard capacitors as well. We're going to make use of these. But I'm actually going to start at the bottom of the list today and go in reverse. So I want to get started with some stuff from Ender storage. It's not actually Ender storage, but it's the Ender pieces, like, for example, an Ender pouch. Right? This is going to give us trans-dimensional storage, and that's a very good thing. So to make this, all we need is some leather, ender pearl, blaze powder, and some wool. And I think I should have just about everything on me except for the leather. Let me grab the leather real quick. 1, 2, 3. And I found a fantastic way to make leather just a minute ago. I'm going to show you guys how to do that here in just a second. So we should be able to just shift click this recipe in real quick. So bam, that gives me an ender pouch. Now, what does an ender pouch do? Well, it gives me some storage for one thing, and that's really cool. We could use this as nothing more than a pouch, and that's already nice. But the ender pouch does something else for us. If we combine an ender pouch with an ender chest, so ender chest takes 4 blaze rods, some obsidian, some wool, some chests, and ender pearl, and each one will give us a new ender chest. So an ender chest alone is kind of meh. It's not all that great. But an ender chest, when used in conjunction with an ender pouch, is pretty freaking awesome, in fact. These guys aren't hooked up yet to the network. So I'll have to manually put that in there right quick. Anyways, so now with this ender pouch, anytime I open it, the ender chest over there will also open. They share an inventory. So if I put these fences in the pouch, I can come get them out of the chest. And that's very good for me because that means I could technically remotely send things into my network, right? And that would be pretty useful depending on what it is that I'm sending in remotely. So that's a pretty awesome thing. We're actually going to make quite a few of these. And the trick with ender pouches and ender pearls is you can actually control what network they're operating on by using these wool colors on the top. So let's say, let's go get a quick piece of dye. We'll just do a very simple demonstration of this. Let's take yellow. 2 pieces of yellow dye here. All right. So we can come over here and dye these 2 with the same markings. And now those 2 share an inventory. But they do not share an inventory with my pouch. Okay. And what that does is it allows you to set up different networks to handle different things. And it's very nice. And of course, if you look down inside, they've got that nice little spacey graphic going on, to show that it's dimensional. So that's really awesome. We've got ender pouches, we've got ender chests. There's one other ender item, and that is the ender tank. And I want a couple of these, and I'm going to show you why right now. So the ender tank, let's just take this gold apple off the wall, and let's set this down right here. There we go. We've got this tank. What good does that do me? Well, it does a lot of good, depending on what you're doing with it. But let's assume for a second that instead of using iron spikes out here on these mob traps, I were using diamond spikes. Okay. In doing that, we'll do it from this one right over here. This might actually work just fine. So if I put my ender tank down on top of the vacuum hopper here, right, and I put this to drain, look. We've got experience going into this. This vacuum hopper had sucked experience into it, and it's now filling this ender tank up. Well, that means if I run, well, here, before I leave, let's give it a little bit more, okay? Let's kill some dudes. There you go, you're dead. You're dead, you're dead. Now, any XP that comes off these guys, I would normally pick up, but if I'm not here to do it and I were using diamond spikes, no one would be, but the vacuum hopper could, right? And with the vacuum hopper and those ender tanks, I can now send that same experience all the way back into base without actually being there. So that's going to allow me to now build up experience, right, without me being here to do anything. And we'll make use of that a little bit later, but that's a pretty cool feature, is that we now have remote tank storage. Furthermore, any kind of liquid that we wanted to use in, in a storage system, we could, and use it remotely. And it kind of, the other thing is, right now I'm having to store all my stuff out here in these caches because my chest is out here. Well, now I could replace this chest here with an ender chest and another one in the base, and I'm able to retrieve the remote inventory directly to the base. So that's going to allow me to upgrade my mob farm soon, and that is something that I intend to do. We're going to be upgrading that very soon now. Let's drop this stuff off. So we've got access now to ender pouches and ender chests, and we can send items home, and that's really nice. That's kind of a really good thing for me. So let's knock that out. Ender storage is done. Now the next thing that I want to work on is, let's actually go to the ring of magnetization next, okay? Now I got a bunch of junk on me. I'm just going to drop it all off. Boom. Right? This could probably be done a little easier. Let's just dump all this in here. There we go. Beautiful. I'm just going to eat this. I don't care. I can make more of them. It's not that big a deal. Okay. Now, a ring of magnetization comes from Britannia. And it's right here. There's several different rings, right? The one that I want is this ring of magnetization. And all it takes is a little bit of steel and a lens. To get a lens, we need an iron ingot and a gold ingot, and then some more mana steel. Okay, well, we can do this. So let's get 1 piece of glass. Let's get 8 steel. And I should have, there we go. So I was about to say, I should have some lotus around somewhere, right? So let's come over here. And let's start off by throwing in the 8 steel. Okay. So if we take and throw this in, let's see if it makes it in. Yeah. Got it all. Cool. And then we can just take our little crafting table here. Oh, we didn't get a piece of iron and a piece of gold. Come on, guys. You got to help me keep up with this stuff. 1 iron, 1 gold. There we go. All right. So we want to take the iron and the gold and the piece of glass. Oh, no. I lied. We want to take 4 pieces of mana, steel, and a piece of glass. And that's going to give us a lens. Then we want to take the lens and these, and that's going to give us a magnetizing mana lens. And now we want to take this and these 4, and that's going to give us a ring of magnetization. Now, that's going to do exactly what you expect it to do, okay? So if I start throwing things out here, like this wood, it's going to give it a second because I threw it out, but it's going to suck it right back to me. If I start breaking things, so like if I take this and I break these things, as I break them, the ring of magnetization is going to suck them to me. Now what I could do is I can place them and I can break it while holding shift and it won't. The magnet effect is now stopped. But if I stand up, we're good. And it's just going to suck all that right back into me. So very nice, very fancy little ring. Helps me a lot with when I'm out doing things. I think somebody just tried to talk to me on Discord, but I'm not on Discord at the moment. Well, I mean, I don't have my headset on right now, so I can't really hear them at the moment. All right, so with this, I no longer need this extra ring. I'm just going to store it for now. I don't want to throw it away or anything. And I keep making all these extra Yellorium blocks, and I need to stop doing that because I keep forgetting to have a ton of it over here. All right, so that didn't really cost me much mana, but I want to keep up with where all my black lotuses and stuff are, right? Because those are super valuable to me. So let's put this all up here like so. All right, now we've also got a bunch of nether wart right here. Let's toss this in here. That'll update that, and we should be able to just smash the thing right here and throw that into the system. I hope. I think my thing is blocking it now. Okay, it worked. Cool. All right. So that gets rid of the ring of magnetization. Let me go take that off the to-do list as well. So, ring of magnetization. There we go. All right. So the next thing on the list is upgrading the jetpack. Upgrading the jetpack. So we've got this crappy little jetpack that stores a whopping and massive 8K, right? Where did it go? Oh, I know where it's at. 8K RF. We made this one right here, right? And it's worthless. It doesn't do anything. We want to get to this one. Now to get to this one, we stopped because we couldn't make 10 years. But then last episode, I showed you guys that we could make 10 years, right? And so I'm getting ready to make a hardened jetpack. And for that, I've kind of started laying out the pieces. So back here in the back, I've already made this. Now this is very easy. It's just a leadstone flux capacitor with some electrotine around it, some NVAR, and a 10 gear. So I've got that made. And I've started laying out the pieces. Here's the NVAR. Here's our current jetpack. Here's that. All right. So what else do we need? Well, let's take a look here. What do we got? All right. So this is going to be the setup for making the thrusters. Okay. So I've already got the reception coil in there. I've already got the NVAR in there. What we need now is we need to get some hardened energy cells. Okay. Now I'm going to make several of these leadstone energy cells because we're actually going to make use of these things. And I'll show you how in just a little bit. But from there, we take these guys and we're going to upgrade them, right? We're going to turn 2 of them into these. So it goes from a leadstone energy cell frame to a leadstone energy cell. This will hold 400,000 RF. This won't do anything. It's just a frame. We surround it with this, and this conductance coil is just red alloy and electrum ingots. And that's going to get that for us. So let's get these 2. Okay. Then we're going to come over here, and we're going to need some of these redstone flux ducts. And we're going to make one of those real quick. And then with that, we can put some of these in here like this, and get a couple of these, and get one of these. Something like this is the recipe. There we go. And we get hardened flux duct. We get 3 of these. And we're going to need these for each of our thrusters, right? We're going to need 2 of these per thruster. So I need to make a little bit more of that. Unfortunately, we can. So 1, 2, 3, and one of these. There we go. And that's going to give me this. Now, the other thing that we have is to make was this guy. All right. We want to make a hardened energy cell. We've made these leadstone energy cells, but we need them to be hardened. So we need to put NVAR around them. And that's going to take this up to a 2 million RF storage, right? This thing will hold up to 2 million RF. That's nice. Very cheap, by the way. So there we go. We got 2 of those. All right. So now let's go back over here to our thruster pattern. We know we want one of these, and we know we want a couple of these on each side of it. And then we need a couple of redstone dust. They're sitting right over here. Bam and bam. All right. There's one thruster. There's the other. And that's really it. That's all we need. And we're going to have a more powerful jetpack now. This guy holds up to 40,000 RF. Now that's still not a whole lot, but before we couldn't even really fly in it, right? As soon as we put it on, the thing was empty. So let's see how this one feels. Let's toss it on for a second. Let's fly. See, now we can fly a little bit. Not bad. I actually can feel comfortable flying in this. And then I can go to my sneak mode and just chill in the air. I don't really need the hover mode because of my ability to sneak already. So that's pretty cool. And don't forget that I can take this off at any time and recharge it. So this is actually useful to me now, finally. And as I'm falling, I can kind of, burst it and bring my fall down a little slower. So we've got a much better jetpack now. That's going to be super useful for when I'm doing things in the nether like I was trying to do previously. Okay. So let's go ahead and throw this back in here and let it charge back up. Keep in mind, I could have just thrown this on and charged it up. This has another 400,000. So I can recharge this bad boy 10 times before having to come in and take care of it. And between the ability to fly now and the ring of magnetization, it's going to make gathering things up a lot easier. That's beautiful, and that's what we want. All right. Now, with that said, we're going to continue to improve these, but the next one up requires a lot of electrum. Now, getting the flux capacitor for it, that's not a big deal. We can do that. That's just some electrum and an ender diamond. An ender diamond is just ender pearls around a diamond. That's not hard at all. I do have some other things that I'm interested in working on, so let's see where we're at on the recording right quick. Right now, we're about 15 minutes in. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Oh, I did not mean to grab that. Put that back. Okay. I do have a lot of inventory systems that I'm interested in starting to get set up, and I want to get better processing set up. A portion of doing that is going to mean that we need to start getting into more of these capacitors being made. And for that, I've begun making red alloy ingot in mass. I've realized that I can actually take the redstone. So say this much redstone. And let's just grab 8 iron ingots right quick. And you can actually dump... Oh, I've got my jetpack on again. I did not mean to do that. I want my jump. There we go. Put this guy back in here for now. So I can dump 64 of these in here, and they will melt down very rapidly, okay? And it's just going to become liquid redstone. And if we throw some ingots in there with it, that liquid redstone will mix and we'll get the alloy we want. But we probably want to have this go only into here. In the form of an alloy is what I was getting at, I'm sorry. So let these melt down in here and they'll automatically mix. I don't have to burn any more fuel up. Now, I don't have to burn any fuel here either, and with this capacitor, it's going to go a lot quicker now. It's just another way that I could have been making them in mass, because I can actually melt down redstone in block sizes, and it makes it go a lot quicker. So that's one thing that I figured out. Here's the other thing that I figured out. If you're needing leather early game, and there was a point in time which I was, and you don't really have access to it other than to go to the nether, what you could do is you could just come in here and make yourself some leather armor, right? Using string. This woven cotton acts as leather and makes leather armor. And if you have made a sawmill, you can take this leather armor and toss it in and watch. Boom. You have a small chance of getting an extra piece, by the way. Probably the best thing to make is honestly hats. Leather hats. But, you know, for quick leather, that works just fine to me. That's pretty freaking awesome. So look at this. 8 conductive metal. We melted it down. We got 8 conductive metal. That's enough to get myself a couple more capacitors made. So that's awesome. I can pour it into here. It goes straight into the inventory system. That's sweet. You know, that's exactly what we're aiming for and what we want, is better and quicker ways to do the things that we're having to do to get the materials that we're needing to get. There's Mr. Sid hanging out on my stream. I probably am tired, Sid. I haven't gotten much sleep this weekend. Done a lot of traveling, and I'm going to bed as soon as I end this one, I think, actually. All right. So the other thing that I want to get to work on is I improved the actual water wheel. The other spot that I was missing water from is that you can actually put water right here. I'll explain it later. I may set up a second wheel, but this is a max spin wheel now. So this thing should be putting out around 256 RF per tick. I also got rid of all the wiring and I'm using straight conduit now. And pretty soon we're going to work on a machine that will allow us to hide that conduit in a much prettier way where we don't have these wires going all over our base. We're also going to look at expanding our laser beam setup soon, but not just yet. So I got a couple of choices in front of me. What time is it? Let's look outside real quick. Where's the moon? It was a full moon. We missed our opportunity to recharge all of our white stones. How sad is that? Makes me a sad guy. All right, instead, I got another idea. I'm ready to start spawning mobs in a way that I control what's happening. Because sometimes there are certain mobs we want to farm, for example, ghasts. It would be great to be able to spawn a ghast whenever we need it to get ghast tiers. So to do that, you've got several options, but the option I want to go with is going to be a powered spawner. Okay. To get a powered spawner, you need a Franken zombie, which is basically something we get from a soul binder. So we need to make a soul binder first. So the soul binder is achieved with some solarium, which we don't have, but that's easy to get, right? I've shown this before. It's just gold and soul sand, and I've got soul sand right up here. Boop. So we'll get some of this and some gold, run up here, and toss this in and let that start making those alloys for me. And because of how much quicker it is now, that's not a bad weight anymore. All right, so we'll get some of that going. Now we do need to make some of these pressurized fluid tanks. Well, this isn't making me a pressurized fluid tank. Why is it showing me this? Ignore it. It's something screwed up on there, and click the arrow. What we need for this is some dark steel, some dark iron bars, and fused quartz. So dark steel, I think it's this one right here. I've got 4 of it. That's not nearly enough. Do I have any dark iron bars is the question. I don't think I do. Nope, I definitely don't. What's the recipe? Recipe is 6 dark steel. So we've also got to make some dark steel. So I'm not quite ready to make that stuff yet either. That's coming soon. But those are things that I'm going to be looking to be making next. With the Ender storage systems in place now and the ability to send items remotely back and forth, I'm going to be able to greatly change how I'm handling the distribution of my materials. For example, I could set up these materials to automatically start being processed without ever actually being here. Currently, when I put things inside of this machine, it's very slow, right? So if I come and I grab, say, what do I have right here? Here's some redstone ore. Let's say I'm low on redstone. I'm like, oh, I need to get more redstone as quickly as possible. And I get all this nether redstone ore, and I drop it in here. It's kind of a slow thing for that to do its job, right? Just slowly ticks up 6% at a time, and it grinds down 1. There we go. All right, we got 21 redstone. That's awesome. But just like with its sister machine, the alloy smelter, we can throw one of these guys in and now look at it. It's like, yeah, well, let's go. Frenchy. So that's very nice. We're slowly starting to improve the level of production that we have with our machines. And the next level up from this, the vibrant capacitors are even, that much more of a step up. But they also cause us to use more RF. We go from using 20 RF to using 60 just by putting this on here. It also allows us more power storage though, so that's kind of, it all kind of evens out. It's pretty nice. All right, so we got a new jetpack. We got some remote storage in place. Let's go back to Botania for just a minute. Now, a lot of the stuff that we're going to want to do in Botania is going to require something a bit more advanced than just straight mana steel. And for that, we're going to want to start being able to dip into Terra Steel. But getting to Terra Steel, it may not be nearly as difficult in this pack as it is in some of the other packs I've played. But it requires us to make kind of a complex machine. Let me see if I can find it right quick. The machine is called the... I can't remember what it's called now. I was about to tell you and then I screwed it up. We've already got that. I don't really like the manufacturing halo, by the way. I'll explain why at a later time. But for Terra, right here, Terra Blade, we need Terra Steel ingots. Terra Steel ingots, shift to see recipe, click. Right here, this is what we need. The terrestrial or terrestrial agglomeration plate. And to make this, we're going to need living rock with lapis lazuli blocks. That's not hard. And the plate. Okay, so how do we get the plate? Well, to make the plate, we're going to need to craft together some lapis blocks, a block of mana steel. Okay, that's not too bad, right? A rune of water, rune of fire, rune of air, rune of earth, and rune of mana. Most of these shouldn't be too difficult, right? So rune of mana is just some mana steel and a mana pearl, all right? Rune of fire, we've already made one of these, no big deal. I've got one of those laying around. Rune of earth. All right, some stone, some coal, a mushroom, mana powder, easy peasy, we can do that. Rune of air. This is going to be the hard part, getting a feather. I haven't figured out how to get chickens yet. I'm sure I can very quickly by looking at the quest log though. So let's go back into quests for just a minute. Now recently we've been getting a lot more quests done, right? And in fact, here's carbide, that's done. Let's go ahead and get our loot chest for that done. Now this wants me to make LMH wires. I really don't like making these things because this is, it's just not something I usually dabble in. I'll make it to get past the quest. But realistically, we're kind of done in this area for the most part for what I want out of it. I can't speak right now because I'm getting sleepy. All right, what we're looking for is somewhere in here. I had a quest to go get cows. Now, where did that come from? What I want to know. It told me to go plant fields. Get a 25 by 25. Was it in here? Maybe? Yeah, right here. Pasture. Okay. So apparently I'm just going to have to keep putting these things out. Or I think there's a way we can use animal bait, right? I think there are certain types of bait we can use in most skyblock worlds. So fish trap bait, fruit bait, veggie bait, and grain bait. I think that this, I can't remember. Let me look real quick. Let me go. Just to be sure, because I don't want to be leading you guys in the wrong direction. In case one of you watches this and like, ooh, that's how I do it. Pam's Harvest Craft Bait. What is this for? Let's look. Pretty sure these are what we want. So we want to use an animal trap. right here. It's pretty straightforward. Animal trap is a block added by Pam's Harvest Craft. It is a device used to generate land animals related to items, including various types of meat. This is achieved by placing the block in the world with at least 5 blocks of dirt or grass and a 2 radius on its height level and filling it with grain bait, veggie bait, or fruit bait. Items produced in the block are generated randomly but have a higher chance of being generated than others. One bait item is consumed every time it generates an item. Okay, so I'm not actually going to get the animals with this. I'm just going to get their products. So if I wanted feathers, I could use any bait. If I wanted pork chops, which I need for a quest, I would want to use veggie bait. And there's a good write-up on this on the wiki. I don't know if that's quite what we want to do. What we'd really rather do is just be able to get chickens, right? So now I know some ways, but I want to see, what is the expected way? What's the expected way that you're going to get a chicken to spawn in Project Ozone 2? We could just continue to build land, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to try this. We're going to try this out right quick because it seems kind of fun. It seems like a nerdy way to do this, and that sounds fun to me. So let's put the Botania lexicon up. I didn't realize that these traps were even a thing in the game, so this is going to be kind of cool. I knew about the bait, but I never really take it any further than that. All right, so we're going to need some string, right? Okay. And so now that we got this, we're going to need a chest. Let's get a chest real quick. Boom. All right, let's make a trap. There we go. We got a trap. Okay, now we want some bait. Let's just go with grain bait or fruit. I don't really care. I'm assuming that wheat will go in. No, yeah, we can use wheat for this. Sweet, because I got wheat for days, kids. Boop. That is not what I meant to do, but whatever. All right, shift click it in there. Bam, we got bait. All right. So I don't know if our animal trap breaks each time we use it, nor do I know how long one of these things takes to use, but we're about to find out, boys and girls. Oh, by the way, what y'all think about my cloud bridge right here? This is all clouds. I think it's kind of fun. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Fluid, oil. I haven't gotten any new cows to spawn. That's kind of disappointing. All right, let's drop this bad mamma jamma down, and let's throw some bait in it. So it looks like it's going to, use more than just one. We'll come back and check on that here in a bit, like right before I end the episode. All right, we got some living wood and stuff made up right over there. We could go towards starting the amalgamation plate, but like I said, without the feathers, I know we're going to hit a wall there. So there's not a whole lot of point in diving forward into that. Yeah. Anyways, what's the next thing that I'm interested in doing? That's the good question. Now, I do know one of the things that I was wanting to do. So I was trying to get a good little setup for another capacitor where I could read the power output of this. There is another way that we can get the power from that machine. It's an Ender IO, and it is right here, a power monitor. So with some electrical steel and one of these and a machine chassis, we can actually make a power monitor right quick. So let's do that. Let's get what all did we need again? I think we need steel. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think we need fence. I could be very wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure this is the recipe. There we go. Get this machine chassis set up right quick. We're almost up to 10 followers again. It's been nice and slow, but we've gotten there. I'm okay with that. Okay, so we want that, and then we need some electrical steel. Yep. And conduit probes, because I don't have any of those, right? I only get them out of every other bag that I open. Okay, and pop that in there, and that gives me a power monitor. So I'm pretty sure that I can come over here and hook this bad mamma jamma up. I think maybe even, did I just, oh, I lost it, didn't I? Dang it, I just threw my wrench off the side. I'm gonna have to make another one of those. That sucks. Sorry. Wait, no, I couldn't have lost it. I have the ring of magnetization on. You're making me sad, sir. Where did it go? This is what I get for holding shift at the wrong times. Let's just put this right here for now. Right, so we'll plug that on there. So average output over 5 seconds, blah blah blah, and it actually works as a power storage. It holds up to 1,000 RF. That's kind of crazy. Conduit storage is 2.4 million. Capacitor bank storage is 5 million. Machine buffers are 1.5 million, and the current average output over 5 seconds is this. Okay, well, let's see something. If I take you off and I hook this back up, let's just sneak right over here, hop inside, boop, take that off. Beautiful. Okay. And let's say I hook you up. Let's take off another one of these. All right, and now put you, no, not there. Now put you down, there we go. Well, I didn't, not quite working the way that I wanted it to. So what I really wanted to see, I think it's gonna have to be hooked up to a piece of pipe is what it comes down to. Can we get some extraction? All right, it's slowly extracting. I need you to extract a little faster than that. So here's an easy way to get some extraction going on. We don't need beef. All right, let's toss some emeralds in with some of these, and we're gonna make an emerald chipset, followed by an iron chipset. That's gonna chew up some power right quick. And while we're doing that, we'll once again just set this guy up. Set him, let's pop this one off. And we'll set this to extract. That should drain his power down kind of rapidly. Pop this one off. Oh, that didn't even affect it. It didn't phase it. Gotta pop this one off instead. What? How are you still running? This makes no sense. You're not hooked up to anything. It literally has no power. Oh, it's running off the conduit storage right now. Because of all the conduits hooked up to them, they're slowly draining it out now. Plus the machine buffer. So this should drain it down in just a second. Okay. And now this guy's slowly starting to come down. Pretty wild that it doesn't drain it any faster than that. Anyways, okay, I think I see how to use this in a little bit better manner now. Okay, so hook you back up, and hook you back up. Okay, let's come back over here. I'm still trying to remember all different ways because the vibrant capacitor bank is kind of pricey in this pack, and that's okay. It should be because of what it gives. It usually doesn't give that much of a storage, and that's interesting to me that it does. All right, here we go. So now we can see. Nope, we can't. I thought we could, but we can't. It's just telling me fun stories now. I'm going to have a capacitor bank on it to see what it's actually outputting, unfortunately. That sucks. Oh well, I'm going to make a new vibrant soon, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, huge waste of time with all that. Alright, so I said I was going to try to look into something before... Oh, let's go check on that animal pen. Let's see if anything came of that. Well, nothing so far. Put that on top of it. And, that's not good. There we go. All right, I'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully we'll start getting some animal pieces soon. Like I said, we got a few cool things done in this episode. You know, we got some upgrades to a couple of our machines. This guy can now shred through stuff with the quickness. We got ourselves a bunch of redstone right there. I showed you guys a little bit easier way to make leather. We upgraded our jetpack. It's a lot nicer now. I may start upgrading. What does it take to upgrade this guy? I've actually got the capacitors to do that. I think that was one of the things that I was intending to do. What all do I need? Some steel and some gold. Let's do this right quick. You can pulverize some gold for me, right? Yeah, boy. All right. And then I think if I take 2 of these and combine it with 1 of it's a chipset that I need. It's this. Aha. I had it already set up right here. Don't need to set it up again. I knew I had some of those out there. Okay, so if we take that and combine it with this, we'll get another one of those. Beautiful. So take these along with this, and this, and this, and then some electrical steel. I'm out of electrical steel. Okay, what was the recipe for this? Silicon, coal powder, and iron ingots. Okay. So silicon, coal powder, whoops. There's the solarium that we needed. Looks like I need to work on some alloys for a little bit because I am running low on all my alloys. That's okay. I'll get them done. But I think this is all I need, right? Bam. Look at that. This thing holds 2 million RF. There's another big upgrade for us. So in terms of using anything that's RF dependent, this guy right here, he's going to have us covered. We can fly our jetpack around for days with that thing. I mean, it's like 50 refuels on that jetpack. Not to mention, same thing for when we start deciding to use this remote storage tablet. That's going to be huge for us. So that's where I'm going to stop, guys. I'm pretty exhausted, not feeling too well anyways. Wanted to kind of go over a couple more things before I called it a day. And we got a lot done. You know, we got the ring of magnetization done. We took some big steps in Britannia. We are definitely deep into mid game right now. We're edging closer to end game, and there's still a lot of things from the early game that I haven't done. Like I haven't even gone to the Aether yet, and that's usually one of the first things you want to do is get into the Aether as soon as possible. So I'm gonna probably look into getting that opened up soon and start trying to wheel around and get more of these quests caught back up that we're way beyond where we should be. The quests are kind of your guidance on where to go next in the pack in terms of what you have. So, you know, you don't need to necessarily follow along the way I do. More, I'm just telling you how I go about doing things in most of these packs because it can be played with completely without the quest log. But the quest log will guide you if you get lost. But we're doing well. We've got 500 million RF storage. I can probably get another one of those put out soon. We've got 2 million of mobile RF storage. When we use this guy to do the next upgrade, which is not very hard for me to do, I'm going to jump up to something that has 20 million RF storage. That's freaking crazy. Oh, don't forget, by the way, that you can armor these things. So if I were to make some silicon armor plating, which is just iron ingots with silicon around it. In fact, just grab the silicon right quick. Boom. This is really easy and it's kind of cool, so I figured I'd show it off. I think we want to go like this, and then bam. Go up in here and grab this bad boy. You literally just take this, and now you've got a armored chest pack, so that it's not taking this off doesn't get you destroyed quite as easily, right? And with that, I mean, I can recharge a lot of RF on any device that I need to, so that's awesome. Anyways, as always, guys, if you liked it, like it. If you'd like to see more, like it, click that subscribe button. If you want to know when I'm sending out new videos or I'm live streaming, click the little bell icon. And other than that, that's it. I mean, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think I'm doing well, what I can improve upon. You guys be good to one another, and I'll catch you all next time. Laters.